Hello and welcome to This is Public Broadcasting. I'm your host, Captain Rutledge. Every so often, there comes along a show that is simultaneously entertaining, educational, and engaging. For PBS kids, they hit that trifecta with Cyber Chase. Since 2002, Cyber Chase has taught legions of children concepts of math and science through hands-on examples as three Earth kids defend the world of cyberspace against the plans of the series' main villain, the evil hacker.
Listen closely. I alone decide who comes and who goes.
You're the man, boy! Yeah, you're the one!
Could it be argued that having a villain like the hacker is a key to the success of the series as a whole? Maybe? But throughout Cyber Chase's 15-season run on PBS Kids, the writers managed to craft a villain so devious, vain, selfish, and pompous that you just can't help but eat up every minute he's on screen. Hence why today, we are going to take a deep dive into the hacker's character, his origins, his history, and his schemes. So strap in everybody as we pay tribute to the one and only Hacker.
The hacker to you.
Whatever.
While the series was in its infancy, the original pilot episode introduced the hacker and his henchmen Buzz and Delete as the main bad guys Matt, Jackie, and Inez go up against. For the most part, this episode establishes the hacker as your average villain. He is maniacal, vain, irritable, everything you want in a proper villain. For the pilot, he was voiced by the late Tom Christopher. Christopher's hacker voice is more stereotypical villain. Deep, refined, slightly nasal, not too dissimilar from what you hear from other kids' shows. In fact, it almost sounds like Jim Backus on Gilligan's Island.
I do not want to hear about those meddling brats. Get back to Palmville and collect those eggs, or I'll scramble your circuits permanently and melt you down for paperweight.
Well, that's a very noble sentiment, very warm and generous, but stupid.
No!
When Cyber Chase was picked up by Nelvana around 2000, much like the writing team's previous TV show, The Magic School Bus, they decided to get regular celebrity voice actors for the show. The new character of Digit would be voiced by comedian Gilbert Gottfried. The hacker, meanwhile, would receive a truly iconic voice. Ladies and gentlemen, Christopher Lloyd.
Greetings, everybody. I'm Christopher Lloyd. I am the hacker.
For those unaware, Christopher Lloyd has had an active career in both movies and television for the past 60 years. From his work on the TV series Taxi and iconic performances in The Addams Family, Who Framed Roger Rabbit, and of course, Back to the Future. In interviews regarding the series, Lloyd has stated he was interested in the role due to the series' educational value, not to mention the character of the hacker being such a silly, vain, campy villain. From interviews with the show's crew, as well as video in the recording booth, it's plain to see how much goes into Lloyd's performance of the hacker, putting his whole body into it, as well as his voice. It's a performance that many can imitate, but few can master.
Can't the ruler of cyberspace get anything done around here without interruption? She's the life of a superior being.
Heck, 2 Daytime Emmy nominations can't be wrong. That's all behind the scenes, but what about within the scenes? How is the character of the hacker written? What is his backstory? Originally, the hacker was created as an assistant to Motherboard's chief technician, Dr. Marbles. Marbles created him with a genius equal to his own, though sadly, as pointed out in the episode Step by Step, he would later apply that genius to evil. In the meantime, though, the hacker worked diligently at Motherboard Control Central, at one point saving Motherboard from a meteor made of magnetite. More on that later. He would also create Digit as his own assistant, and during his days off, he ran a garage in Radopolis with his best friend Coop. In those early years, though, something changed in the hacker. The life he was living didn't seem good enough. He took it upon himself to take over cyberspace from Motherboard and reform it in his image. After he and Coop designed the Transformatron, Coop was forced to destroy the machine's blueprint to prevent the hacker from destroying cyberspace. Things came to a head after the hacker removed Motherboard's encryptor chip. Thanks to Digit, Marbles was able to reinstall the chip, but this was the last straw. Marbles downgraded the hacker's perpetual power supply and banished him to the northern frontier, taking Digit with him.
Someday, Somehow, I'll return! And when I do, I'll take over all of cyberspace!
Page down, hacker! Your file is closed!
Once at the northern frontier, the hacker was trapped on Mount way up there. With the help of the Parolini circus family, he was able to get down and continue on his path of devious destruction. He put Digit to work in constructing the Grim Reaker and built the recharger chair to help replenish his power supply. He later hired 2 cyborgs named Buzz and Delete as his new henchmen too. After Digit saved a cybersite that the hacker plunged into darkness, he managed to escape back to Motherboard and safety, though Hacker never truly forgot Digit's betrayal.
You mean that pompous piece of cyber trash? That green face bag of wind?
Digit, I didn't know you still cared.
Hacker, I was just reminding everyone how brilliant and powerful you are.
This pretty much takes us to where the series picks up. In the series premiere, Lost My Marbles, the hacker engineers a virus to infect Motherboard while her firewall is down. Using 3 kids and an interactive library map, the virus is unleashed, partially infecting Motherboard and destroying her encryptor chip. Then, as Dr. Marbles goes in search of a new one, Hacker kidnaps him and hides him in the southern frontier, on an island that turns inside out at sundown. Despite his best efforts, Marbles is rescued by Digit and the 3 kids brought into cyberspace by Motherboard. When trying to capture the kids, an outburst at rage at their escape caused him to forget about sundown, and the Grim Reaker is trapped in ice.
Hey, boss, want a frozen donut?
No matter what situation Hacker, Buzz, and Delete end up in at the end of each episode, they somehow manage to get out of it by the next episode. Most of the episodes of Cyber Chase have Hacker trying different ways to cause chaos and conquer cyberspace. Sometimes it's causing havoc on various cyber sites. It could be attempts to refill his dwindling power supply, or even new ways to get rid of the Cyber Squad. The series' second episode, Castle Blanca, started out with Hacker capturing Dr. Marbles and bringing him to the Halloween-themed cyber site, Castle Blanca. There, his plan was to transfer Marbles' brain power into a monster called Gigabyte, using rays of the full moon to power the transfer. Just as it appears the transfer is working, the cable connecting Marbles and Gigabyte is severed. After Delete attempts to reconnect the cable, instead of Marbles' brain power being transferred, instead Delete's is put into Gigabyte.
Speak to me, Gigabyte! Speak!
You nickel-plated twit!
What was that?
You distasteful dunce bucket!
It can't be! It can't be!
In the episode Sensible Flats, the hacker takes part in a land rush on the Old West-themed cyber site of Sensible Flats. Naturally, he cheats with a rocket-powered wagon and taking a parcel of land apparently larger than the allowed allotment. He is sent to the site's jail by Judge Trudy and Sheriff Judy, facing trial. However, the Cyber Squad cuts a deal with him, serving as his defense counsel in exchange for the antidote of Motherboard's virus. This episode also reveals what is apparently the hacker's full name.
The case of Sensible Flats versus Hieronymus Hacker.
Is this the hacker's real name, or just something he made up to sound more important? I'll let you folks decide. Of course, the Cyber Squad manages to get the hacker's case dismissed, but only later do they find out he only gave them a portion of the virus antidote. Nonetheless, he, Buzz, and Delete hold on to their land in Sensible Flats, often coming back to rest and relax or plan other heinous deeds. In Find Those Gleamers, the hacker makes a deal with the Cyber Squad, bringing them back to the southern frontier. He offers up a new encryptor chip for Motherboard on a duplicate of the Grim Reaker, powered by Gleamers, glowing insects that can power up ships. Setting up their Gleamer hunt as a reality TV broadcast, the hacker also uses this time to advertise his patented wig gel. It's this episode where we learn that the hacker wears a wig. Apparently the power drain caused him to lose his hair too.
Sweetheart, Chicky baby, pick up the phone. Pick it up! You're blowing it!
Then there's Size Me Up, where the hacker tricks the Cyber Squad into meeting him on the 4th quadrant of cybersite Proporciota. While the kids and Digit are trapped on the cyber site, Motherboard, unaware of their whereabouts, The hacker creates a logic buster virus to fully destroy Motherboard and take over cyberspace. He even puts together a party to celebrate his takeover of cyberspace, though nobody bothers to show up.
Nobody came to my party. Well, no more Mr. Nice Guy.
Before Motherboard can open the email containing the logic buster, though, Digit's mini-me named Widget stops her, and the two forward the email back to Hacker, frying his computer system instead.
Oh no! Motherboard, send back my logic buster!
Right now seems like a decent time to bring up the hacker's personal dunce buckets, Buzz and Delete. Not long after being banished to the northern frontier, the hacker hired Buzz and Delete as his personal henchmen. Although they're both rather devious, they lack the mental capacity to be effective at their job.
I'll just pretend I didn't hear that.
Sorry, boss.
Yeah, sorry.
We'll fix it.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll fix it.
Buzz is technically the smarter of the two, with a penchant for donuts, while Delete is his maniacal simpleton stooge who longs for a bunny named George.
I'm gonna love him and keep him, and I think I'm gonna call him George.
I remember about the rabbits, George.
Oh, yeah. It's the only thing you can remember is them rabbits.
Oftentimes, they're the reason why the hacker fails at so many plans to take over cyberspace. In the episode of All the Luck, the hacker decides to hire new henchmen to replace them, choosing Baskerville, a henchman who is both evil and works for cheap. Once the hacker has Baskerville at his side and a collection of the good luck charms of cyberspace, plus cybersites falling into his grasp left and right, Buzz and Delete find themselves out of a job. To get their job back, they leave the hacker's copy of the Book of the Borgs in the hands of the Cyber Squad, and once the Cyber Squad uses it to free the charms, Hacker's luck goes back to its normal state, including its tangible manifestations with Buzz and Delete.
My cybersites are gone!
Yeah, and so's your luck, boss.
Yeah, looks like you're out of luck again.
One could surmise that Buzz and Delete are the source of Hacker's constant failures, but even if they're not around, the hacker still struggles to pull his plans into fruition. During Ecohaven CSE, Buzz and Delete go on vacation, leaving Hacker on his own. Despite getting some time to himself, we slowly realize how much Hacker truly relies on Buzz and Delete in his daily life.
Buzz, Delete, my superb sidekicks, would you consider cutting your vacation a tad short and rejoining me a few days early? No? What do you mean you're having a great time? Listen to me, you two dunce buckets! What's happened to this world? You can't get a good accomplice anymore.
In some cases, Buzz and Delete outshine the hacker at his own game. During trading places, Buzz and Delete get hit on the head with a stale donut, rewiring their circuits to make them more intelligent. And with Hacker in a diminutive size, due to a malfunction of his new shrink ray, Buzz and Delete offer him a job as their own henchman. Hacker is naturally perturbed by this, but after stumbling on the cave of Warren, makes a deal to return him to his normal height. Naturally, his plans are all foiled. Warren gets scolded by his mother, Buzz and Delete fail to fix up the Grim Reaper, and Hacker is left standing as an action figure on a shelf until the next episode.
Did you forget you were grounded for 10 more years after your last evil rampage?
But, Mother...
Don't butt mother me. Now get!
Come back here, you Weasley wimp!
Now, Buzz and Delete aren't the only evil coordinators the hacker has. In one case, he has a coordinator of a, different nature. The episode And They Counted Happily Ever After introduces the Wicked Witch of Happily Ever Afterville. She comes to the hacker wanting his help transforming the cyber site into Miserably Ever After, with Hacker kidnapping the king and Wicked serving as the new queen. Wicked's plan nearly works until Hacker learns about the king's treasury of golden eggs. He changes the plan to hold the king ransom in exchange for 1,300 golden eggs. As Wicked is imprisoned by the citizens of Happily Ever After, the Cyber Squad helps the citizens to put together the ransom, even having Wicked chip in. Once the king is safely back in Happily Ever After, Wicked uses her magic wand to return the golden eggs and force Hacker out of Happily Ever After. In the end, even though Hacker betrayed her, she still harbors feelings for him.
I'll take my chances with the greater of two evils. Big Icky! Wait for me!
From that point onwards, Hacker and Wicked would continue to cross paths, taking part in each other's schemes. They have dates together in Hugs and Witches and Harriet Hippo and the Mean Green, but Hacker's temper causes her to put spells on him out of spite. In The Wedding Scammer, Wicked claims herself to be the long-lost princess of Pompadoria, luring Hacker into marrying her to take control of the cyber site. But once the Cyber Squad reveals her to be a fraud, Hacker decides to move his cold feet as far away from her as possible.
Just remembered, I have to take the Grim Reaper in for an oil change. Out of my way!
Wait for us, boys!
Wait up! But Hacky Poo! We could still be a happy couple!
In Sherry Spotter and the Cosmic Crumpets, she helps Hacker obtain his diploma in magic in exchange for a promise of engagement. He ultimately breaks.
A hank of hair, a single bone for the last time I work alone.
Has anyone seen my broom?
By the time the episode Halloween Howl takes place, though, Wicked has had enough of Hacker's two-timing. His attempts to make her jealous fail to work, and it's clear she's quite ready to move on from him, no matter how he feels about her. And from then on, she sets out on her own to cause havoc across cyberspace.
I'll help you. You know it's true. I'll help you. I always do. Give me a hug, Buzzy.
Getting back to Hacker, though, his attempts at taking over cyberspace, as we have seen, are many and varied. A few times even, he feigns reform to get his own way. Most notable is the episode True Colors, where Hacker starts performing good deeds all over cyberspace, digging irrigation canals in Eureka, putting Humpty Dumpty back together again on Happily Ever After, even handing out sunglasses to the citizens of Mount Olympus. All this in an effort to call an election for rulership of cyberspace and run against Motherboard.
Fact check. Weren't you the one who infected Motherboard with that virus in the first place?
My friends, I admit that there have been times in the past when I have been, shall we say, a tad unneighborly.
The Cyber Squad keep a close eye on Hacker, and it appears that Hacker has truly turned over a new leaf. Until...
Hey, boss! The polls say you're way ahead of Motherboard!
Good! That means I've got everyone fooled. After I've been elected potentate of cyberspace, I plan to revise the cyber constitution so I'm permanent potentate of cyberspace. There will never be another election.
During the final election debate, the Cyber Squad puts Hacker on the spot regarding the virus he sent to Motherboard. Naturally, Hacker has to lie to prevent curing Motherboard, and the Cyber Squad finds out, and Hacker's position in the polls tanks.
I was so close. Cyberspace was mine! Mine! Mine!
In fact, Hacker received only 2 votes.
Only 2 votes? Who voted for Motherboard?
If only real life were like that. In Trick or Treat, Hacker once again tries to pass himself off as a reformed cyborg and visits Motherboard to try to make amends. Naturally, everybody is dubious, including when his toy frog is revealed to be programmed to devour Motherboard's circuitry. And Buzz and Delete don't help matters.
Somehow the frog got really, really big.
You dunce buckets! If he's too big, he'll never fit into the CPU area to devour Motherboard's circuitry!
Of course, the Cyber Squad foils his plans and sends him on a one-way ticket back to the northern frontier.
Yeah, right. Send me a bill.
Happy Halloween, Hacker!
These failures aside, there are a few instances in the events of Cyber Chase where the hacker actually almost nearly completes his goal of taking over cyberspace. In the Snellfoo Snafu, Motherboard's encryptor chip winds up for sale on a cyber auction site. As the Cyber Squad and their friend Slider from Radopolis work to earn enough Snellfoos to buy back the chip, the hacker uses his usual tactics of intimidation and bullying to ensure he gets the chip for himself, even reluctantly partnering with Wicked. But the Cyber Squad places the highest bid in the auction, winning back the chip. strangely to Hacker's delight. After inserting the chip to cure Motherboard's virus, it's discovered to be a counterfeit, causing Motherboard to be replaced by Hacker as ruler of cyberspace, and imprisoning Digit, Slider, the kids, and Dr. Marbles.
Is there anything you can tell us about our future?
Only one thing, Erica. It means I'm large and in charge.
Hacker? How can you be here and up there at the same time?
Because I'm a technical wizard.
In the episode's second part, Hacker is in full control of cyberspace with Wicked as his partner, spending all of his money to refurbish Control Central. With Motherboard compressed as a zip file inside the encryptor chip, the Hacker plans to deposit her in a black hole forever. The kids, Digit, and Slider escape, no thanks to Buzz and Delete, and track down the encryptor chip using Slider's Syncolator, and save Motherboard, sending Hacker on the run once more.
Whatever you're doing, Marbles, it won't work. Hey, whoa, what's happening? Unbreaking.
The second time Hacker nearly succeeds is during the Transformatron episode arc. Hacker goes all over cyberspace collecting equipment for the construction of the Transformatron he had designed in his earlier days. The only part needed? The network interface card. The only person knowing its whereabouts, his old friend Coop. But after Coop mysteriously disappeared, Hacker's only clue to the NIC's whereabouts is the garage he owned with Coop on Radopolis, now in the hands of Coop's son Slider. Digging up an old contract, Hacker forced Slider to pay up Coop's share of the garage payment, 5,000 Snellfoos.
But I don't have 5,000.
Spare me the sob story, kid. You have 1 week to pay up or I'm taking over your precious garage.
With help from the Cyber Squad, Slider earns enough money to save the garage, and learns some secrets of his father's past with the Hacker, not to mention the NIC and Coop's whereabouts.
Got everything?
I've got the map.
I've got the NIC. Cool. Hang on, Pops. We're on our way.
So, magnetite. In the real world, magnetite is a magnetic form of iron ore. In the cyber world, though, it can cause devastating side effects to cyborgs. Digit is immune, but not Motherboard. Magnetite is able to shut down her systems. For Buzz and Delete, they suffer memory loss when exposed to it. And as for the Hacker...
Maybe I'm allergic to...
Magnetite! Get this stuff out of here!
When the Cyber Squad finds Coop, we learn that after Hacker swore revenge, he switched out Coop's helmet for one made of magnetite, causing Coop's hard drive to deteriorate and suffer premature aging. Coop was forced into hiding should Hacker return and wreak revenge, which he does.
Now hand over the NIC.
No way.
Have it your way!
Oh, no!
Now I have the NIC and your son. Welcome to your worst nightmare, my old friend.
Once Hacker plugs the NIC into the Transformatron, the machine is fully powered up and ready to go. The Hacker transforms himself into an all-powerful cyborg and wreaks his chaos all over cyberspace. But he forgot to reckon with the kids and Digit. They managed to craft a cure Coop discovered for magnetite, they save Slider, and unplug the NIC, powering down the Transformatron and returning the Hacker to his old self.
Just wait. I'll be back.
When the Flash era of cyber chase began, Hacker began to receive a gradual downgrade in villainy. Later Flash seasons have him as little more than a bad neighbor. But there are still a few episodes I'd like to discuss from this later era. The episode Hackerized introduced the character of Ledge, a cyborg rock climber eager to impress the Hacker. So much so that he invents the Hackerizer and unleashes it on Sensible Flats, turning all the citizens into clones of the Hacker. At first, the Hacker thinks his former lackey Baskerville is the responsible party, only to later meet Ledge in person and be initially impressed by his efforts. However, when Inez successfully disables the Hackerizer, the Hacker has second thoughts about Ledge's abilities, and tosses the young cyborg aside. In the next episode, The Bluebird of Zappiness, Ledge gets his revenge by taking an embarrassing picture of Hacker in clown makeup and convincing Buzz and Delete to join him. For once, Hacker has no other choice than to join forces with the Cyber Squad to prevent Ledge from taking over cyberspace. Main objective? The Bluebird of Zappiness.
When Hacker worked for Motherboard, he invented it to boost her memory. She thought the Bluebird might someday help restore her memory, so she hid it in a secret location.
Following a set of clues, Hacker and the Cyber Squad track down the Bluebird's location, and so does Ledge, thanks to a bug planted on Hacker's cape. Hacker, Ledge, and Inez reach the Bluebird and while fighting over it, lose it in a canyon below. Ledge vows to return, while Hacker, Buzz, and Delete are left to make up their differences. Eventually,
Say you're sorry for leaving me!
You first!
a softer side of the Hacker is revealed in the episode Giving Thanks Day, with his niece Harmony. Where Hacker is boastful, rude, and conceited, Harmony is pure of heart, kind, and really brings out the best in her unky Hacker. Hacker is absolutely devoted to her when she comes to visit him, making all the best food for their dinner together. Harmony convinces Hacker to share their bounty with the rest of cyberspace, and even coaxes a very important word out of Hacker.
Thank you.
And so, that's a look at the life and times of the Hacker. What can we draw from all these episodes? In some ways, the life of the Hacker is not dissimilar from Lucifer being cast from heaven, or Melkor's rebellion against the Valar of Middle-earth. While created with a genius for good, he turned to the side of chaos and evil. Given every opportunity, he could have had complete control of cyberspace if not for his pride, apathy, and ego. And yet, through his many attempts to rule cyberspace, the Cyber Squad and all who watch the series learned concepts in math and science that can be applied to everyday life. Even if his characterization went from threatening to a mild menace, the performance of voice actor Christopher Lloyd truly made an enjoyable villain for all viewers.
Those kids will pay for this.
So, what is everybody's favorite Hacker moment? Feel free to list them in the comments below, as we move on once again to the PBS Member Station Spotlight. This time, WHUT, Washington, D.C. While WETA is the main PBS station in the Washington, D.C. area, WHUT occupies its own place in the history of public broadcasting in America. In 1974, the historically black college, Howard University, was granted permission to start its own TV station. 6 years later, WHMM signed on to the airwaves, the first black-owned public television station in American history. The station's formative years consisted of carving out an identity and learning as the staff went along. The station was also a training ground for the nearly 1,000 Howard graduates who would go on to other work in television. Still, the station suffered from a lack of funding, often with not even enough for pledge drives. But in 1998, the station changed its name to WHUT. Programming for WHUT includes local programs such as We Are Here, the Legacy Series, DMV The Beat, and Decades. Among its alumni is journalist Kojo Namdi, who hosted the station's public affairs program Evening Exchange from 1985 until 2011. Today, WHUT provides programming to the DC Metro in over 2.5 million households. If you're in the DC area, you can tune into WHUT on Channel 32, with PBS Kids on the .2 subchannel. Well, thank you to everyone for watching, and I hope you enjoyed. If so, don't forget to support your local PBS stations, so more programming related to Cyberchase can find its way to your television screens. And until next time, I'm Captain Rutledge. Good day.